Good morning, Rabbi Isai. It's Erev Yom Kippur, so we're going to go a little quicker, try to shorten the shir slightly. We'll cover the day, the shortest day of the year. People, last second they're giving brachas and kaparas and mikvah. They barely make it to shul on time. Short. So we're going to help you out over here. Just want to show you today's Horot Keva from the Hebrew Shir. That's just from today. This is one of my pet peeves, and I love this sign. If you pull a cart out of here, you are a robber. I love it. Love it. Anyways, this is the English. Look at this. Rabbi Isai. Daniel Karasik, 18. Hope this helps, 11. Anonymous from Lakewood, $5,000 a month. Yishkoyach, thank you. Eli Geller, David Geldman, Jeff Zuckerman, Ronen Elephant, Tzvi Zieratsky, something like that, Avram Davidovich, Lance Solar, Craig Goldman, Michael Fisher. Rabbi Isai, the guy went out of his comfort zone. He went out of his comfort zone. I spoke to him yesterday. He also sent me a beautiful letter from a guy. I'll read it after Yontif. A guy from Lakewood, he says, "No, what's going to be with you? When are you going to open up a safe or learn about it?" He says, "That's sheer, nah." Like treif almost. He says, "Just try it out for a few days." The guy, I have the letter. The guy writes him back. He says, "You don't understand. I haven't missed a day. My wife respects me now. A whole thing. I took upon myself Mishnah Yomi now. A whole guy, typical guy in Lakewood." I'll read it, Beis Hashem, afterwards. Craig Goldman, I'm saying coming out of the comfort zone, I'm not saying $5,000, but Rabbi, think about it. Think about it for a second. Meiser. Everybody's supposed to give Meiser. I'm not even talking about Choimish. What do you make in America? You make minimum $5,000 a month, so $500. To the shear that changes your life, helps you out every day. Can't give $100, $200 a month. It's that shver. So hard, come out of your comfort zone. Michael Fisher, David, Ari Holchendler, Michael Katz, Shmuley Bex, Mendel Eagle, Avi Ganswartz, Eli, you know what? Baruch Hashem, my name is Stefansky. That's all I can say. Some of these names. Eli, Massi, Hasirali, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 letters in the last name. Rabbi Isai. I know, but...
For a letter of the name?
Yeah. Masir Salian. I remember this name from a different time. Yaakov Tenenbaum. Toby Blumenkatz. Michal Green. Elio, what?
Bullman. Not Blumen.
Oh, Toby Bullman Katz. Thank you. Michal Green. Elio Shamilov. You know what? I should have a guy that reads the names. The guy that's professional. David Cohen. Thomas Bergman. That was from yesterday, I think. Nachman Mostovsky, Moshe Chiel Staller, Avram Yaakov Gerlitz, Daniel Rosenbaum, Mark Berger, Yishkoyach to those who upped it. I got a few emails. Representing the entire United Kingdom, Rabbi Bernard David, $10 a month, Yishar Koyach. Wow. That's listen, for London, that's a lot. For Manchester, I've seen, you ever seen their charity things? $2, £2, $3. The Musagim are different over there. So Yishkoyach for coming out of your comfort zone. He's also a senior citizen, so it's different. Hopefully the Olam in London is able to, they have an issue with how to give to us with the, whatever, their 501 tax deductible thing. We're not going to say something like, don't worry, we're not going to say, don't even put the camera. Please don't put the camera. Don't. Okay, we're going to jump right into it. Today we have a record amount of sponsors because it's Erev Yom Kippur. Don't forget, your Yisker pledges could come over here in terms of monthly. We're looking for a few guys that are going to give more than $5,000 a month, Be'ezer Hashem. We had a guy, Avi, you missed it, but a guy is $5,000 on the monthly. Mesechta sponsor David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Mori Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zichron Livracha. Mesechta sponsored anonymous Lili Nishmas Doidi Shlom Yehuda Zichron Livracha Ben Shmuel Chaim Asher Shoka V'Lomad Kochim Kol Chayev. Anonymous L'schus Refuah Shlem Menachem Tzvi Ben Yenta, sponsored by Skybrook Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs Taki. I'll take a drink. And Shamshi Shlavrak for the devotion to Torah study and the shir. Joel Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father. Jack Gedalius, anonymous. Atzlocha Baruchnis Ubed Gashmias. Koil sponsors monthly, anonymous from London. Atzlocha in business. Parnas Hayoim for the Koilol, anonymous. Yirotzin Shiniskil Shalom Bayis Ulzera Kodesh. Amen. Monthly sponsors, TCS Israel, Power by Talk and Save. Aaron Kessler in honor of the marriage of my son and my daughter, and my relocated to Eden Gardens in Orlando, Florida. Anonymous from London. Hatzlocha Beparnasa. Here's the guy from London. A big donor, Taka. Yehuda Lashinsky, in honor of my father's 6th cycle of the Daf, your big heart and giving to the community is inspiration for all of us. Anonymous. Baruch Ad Belidai, B'Yom Ben Chava, and Baruch Tzvi Nissim Ben Shoshana Leah. Anonymous. L'Shana Toivo Matuka, L'Schus Eliyahu Ben Chayet Dvarin, in honor of my Chavrusa Simchala. Ben Sion Glicksman, Mazel Tov to Talia on her birthday, 12th Tishrei, urgent for Shlema for Chaim Yosef Aryeh Ben Sarah Rezel. Coffee, Rivka and Dr. Avram Epstein. Pray for a complete and speedy recovery for Dr. Harold Goldmeyer. Just saw Rafi in the street. He said his father was moved out of the hospital to his house. I said, that's good news. He says, I wasn't so excited about that. Weekly sponsors, anonymous. Thanking Eli Stefansky and the MDY team for making Daf Yomi accessible and enjoyable to many. Thank you. HYK Ventures, their full shlema for Elko Baschano, Shir and MDY Kids Weekly, for Kavichi family, and appreciative Meyer Tarlo, welcome to MDY. Meyer Tarlo, welcome to MDY. Here we go, Rabbi Isai. This is an all-time record. Daily sponsors: Ilana Price, Mazel Tov, Bnei Akiva Ben Gigi, Kita Hey, Siyum Mishnah, Mesechus Shkolim, Bikurim Ve'eruvin, Yom Holedet Sameach. Anonymous, keep on going, steiging. Anonymous, Animam Emunah Shlema B'Vias HaMashiach, V'Afa Pishi Yismamea, Im Kol Zeh Achakadoi B'Chol Yom Shiyova. You know, you could sing it, Rabbi Isai. The most hard to go on. Oh yeah, ni mama mina, ni mama We can do better. Yechezkel Isengard, Baruch Vatzloch to everyone learning Daf Yomi. Thank you, anonymous. Baruch Vatzloch Parnasa. Eli Epstein, Lili Nishmas Chana Bas Rivka, Aaron Rosenthal for the Hatzlocha of the Chevra at TR. Terrell Moshe Ephraim, Josh Devere Jordan. What? What did I say? Oh, Eli Epstein. Chana Bas Yitzchok. What did I say? Lili Nishmas Chana Bas Yitzchok. Aaron Rosenthal for that slug of the Chevra at TR, Terrell, Moshe, Ephraim, Josh, Dvir, Jordan, Jacob and Yehuda, anonymous, Chasima Toiva, Jeremy Siegel, in honor of the Chayalim fighting for Israel. Eli Gabay, Lili Nishmat, Nisim Ben Elio on his first yard side from Vancouver, Canada. Anonymous for the 30 days of my dear uncle, Haim Eliyahu Ben Masuda. Shalom Moshe have an Aliyah. Mark Meisler for a year of simchas and miracles, both hidden and open for all of my children. Anonymous, Hatzlacha Baruchnis and Gashmias. I just realized that I wasn't Menachem Avel, Yoni. Meisler, when does he get up? Right before Yom. Yeah, okay, good. Remind me, please. Anonymous, for Yeshua, Hatzlacha, for Mordechai. Yoni Meisler is the guy who's been with us from very much in the beginning. He works for Ari Simon in the money change, and he's constantly learning the daf throughout the day. When I go in there, I've caught him learning the daf dozens of times. Refuah, Yeshua, Hatzlach for Mordechai Boaz ben Sarah, Yosef Ezra, in memory of Yittel bat Yechiel, may her neshama have an aliyah. Anonymous, Haravakim, Kamoini, Yisku, Yeshua, B'Meheira, Amen. B'Koicham, Bitcham, Briusam, Sasam Simchasam, Bashem, Yoshev Yigdal. MDY Chevra at Or Gedalia in honor of Shlomi Palak, the best AC heat repairman. Keep on knocking with the daf. Mark Ashkenazi. For Shlomi to Aliza Chana Bat Naomi. Test results coming tomorrow should bring good news and much relief to your family, your exceptional parents. B'schus the tremendous Havas Yisrael and Achnas Zevachim that they do with such open hearts. Amen.
Amen.
Sharing Koilel Anonymous Refor Shlomo L'Chol Koilel Yam Yisrael, the safe return of all the hostages. MDY Kids, Innovations LLC, Refor Shlomo for Tzvi Menachem Ben Livsha, and in honor of all the kids worldwide who finally found the Geshmak way to learn Torah without the trauma. MDY Art, monthly Refor Shlomo, Yonatan Edom Ben Shem Bracha, for Shlomo, Mordechai Ben Esther, the Refor Hayel Daniel Zev Ben Hayel Esther. Our boys have great news. Our one and only Morty Rubin, his daughter became a kala today or last night, so mazel tov, mazel tov. Rabbi Isai, we're holding on Daf Zayin Amud Beis, Oinen Posel. This is an interactive sugya. I need everybody's participation. This reminds me, Hillel, of 7 years ago when you would come a little late and spill the coffee. Reb Shaila, oh, here's our kohen, our new kohen from London. Shalom Aleichem, he's making aliyah soon. Have a seat. Wow, he told me he's going to get a bunch of guys over there. This is Reb Shaila. That's the guy with the talus. He's the truck driver who's trying to make, he doesn't want them to know over there that he's a truck driver, but he's a kohen. He's definitely kohen. He does a good Birgus Khan. Okay. Hi, Hillel. That's why my Gemara is elevated now. You can't even if you wanted to. Oin Apostle. Erev Yom Kippur. Shem Yirachem. My boy side goes like this. I'm going to ask you a question and you're going to answer. We're going to do this whole sugya together, interactively. When the Torah tells us that a kohen gadol who's a oinen can perform the avodah in the Beis HaMikdash, he's a oinen. He lost a close relative and he can perform the avodah. What does that mean to you? That he can perform the avodah for the public or even for an individual? What does it mean to you guys? Everybody together. Public? Machlokes. Does anybody say individual? Yeah, why not? Anybody here on this side, why not? We have a why noters. He's a kohen gadol. He's performing. The Torah doesn't say what. The Torah says you're an oinen, you do not leave the Beis HaMikdash. You continue performing. Does it matter if it's a tzibur or a yachid? No. Okay, good. So everybody now, we're all on the same page. It doesn't really matter. That's what the pash, I'm talking about pashas now. We're going to try to turn it all upside down with Kal V'chomers. And then the Gemara is going to say, no, we got to go back to the pashtas. So, another halacha. Regular kohen, Rabbi Schoenberg, and Donnie Fine, and that kohen that we saw in Kerestir, Reb Shaila, what they're there for Yom Kippur? I'm just hopping now. They're there for Yom Kippur. Like they're going to daven at the... Okay, interesting. Wow. Okay, good luck. I hope somebody brought a shofar over there. Otherwise, you're not yaitza. So, a kohen hedyot who's a oinen, and the Torah says he should not perform the avodah. What about if it's for the public? What's the pashtus? Pashtus, how you doing? Pashtus, yes or no? No, the Torah says you're oinen, you cannot perform avodah. We're going to try to flip it around with the Kal V'chomer. One more thing, two more things. We have a concept called Tumah Hutra B'tzibur. When there's Tumah, you're permitted to perform the avodah Beis HaMikdash for the tzibur. Can a simple kohen perform the avodah for the tzibur? It's only a kohen gadol. What's the pashtus? Could everybody do it or just the kohen gadol? Hutra b'tzibur. Everybody. We're all in agreement? Good. One last thing. When we say that a individual carbon of an individual, Tumah doesn't work. If you're tummy, you cannot shech this carbon. Your tummy, what if you're a kohen gadol? Do you have a heter to shech this carbon? Tumah does not work for the yachid. Tumah hutra b'tzibur. For the community, your tummy, you could do stuff. But if it's not for the community, it's for an individual, you cannot perform avodah of your tummy. What if you're the Kohen Gadol? Can you perform Bituma for Yachid? What's the Pashtus? No. Okay. What the Gemara is going to do now is mix us up. First, Rav is going to say a Kal V'chomer. And then, what's his name? Rav Bar Eli. What's his name? Rav Bar Eli. He's like, I'm going to take your Kal V'chomer, your logic, and I'm going to mix you up real good. I'm going to show you that everything that you thought is the opposite. These are very logical, straightforward Kal V'chomers. Let me show you how it works. First of all, these are our people. Okay? These are our characters for today. You have a kohen, a simple kohen, a regular hedyot that's tamei, he's holding a rat. You have a kohen gadol, but you see that he is in avelus. You see he has ripped clothing on the bottom, like we learned. He has something offer mikla on his forehead. He's crying. Okay, this is a einain, a regular kohen on his left. Now these are important. This is a yachid. Sorry, yachid on top. An individual, one person bringing one carbon, and then you have the tzibur, the whole community bringing a carbon. Those are our characters for today. This is what we just established. The pashtus psukim without a Kal V'chomer. Again, a kohen gadol who's a einain. He could perform the avodah even for one individual. He's an einan. The Torah says you're an einan, do not leave the Beis HaMikdash. It doesn't say an individual at tzibur, it's even for yachid. The second halacha that we all agreed upon is that when you're a hedyot kohen, even the tzibur doesn't help you out. You're a hedyot, go home. If you're a person who's an einan, he doesn't daven, he doesn't put on tefillin, he does not perform the avodah, even for the tzibur. The third halacha in red, we said tumah hodri b'tzibur. That means tumah hodri b'tzibur, even if an individual, even a simple kohen could perform the avodah in the Beis HaMikdash for the tzibur. Doesn't have to be a kohen gadol. And the flip of that is that even if you're a kohen gadol, you're not permitted, and that's the final halacha, you're not permitted to do avodah if you're tamei for an individual. Doesn't matter that you're a kohen gadol. That's the pashtus. Now, the way we're going to do this, we're going to try to do these Kal V'chomers by heart on the screen. And if you're listening, good luck. The way it's very simple. The format that I set up here, I hope that this works. 1 and 2 is talking about tumah. That's on the right side. It could switch sides. That's not important. But the tumah goes by itself. We have 2 categories today: tumah and einain. 2 different things. Tumah, if a kohen is tamei, and if a kohen lost a relative. And then we have, on the left side, we have over here, for now, we have aninus. And underneath it, it's going to be another type of einan. So the way this Kal V'chomer works is we take these 3 boxes, and we come out with a 4th box on the left corner. The 4th box is always going to be on the left corner, what we come out from the Kal V'chomer. Now let me show you this one. This is very, very simple. We can do this together. And they all make a lot of sense if you think about it. Okay, the first one. When a kohen gadol is tamei, he cannot perform any avodah. Even he cannot perform avodah for the individual, not any. For the individual, he cannot perform avodah. Yes, so that much we know. But yet, tzibur on the bottom is green. The top is no good because he's a yachid. The bottom is green. Even a regular kohen can perform avodah in the Beis HaMikdash for the community. Now, if we know those 2 things, the top is no good, but the bottom is good. So what happens if I give you a top that is good? Then the bottom for sure is going to be good. Again, 1 is no good. Possible yachid. Tumah and kohen gadol is possible yachid. Yet 2 on the bottom is tumah by kohen hedin is hutru b'tzibur. So if I say that Aleph is kosher b'yachid, not possible. Look, 1 is possible yachid. Aleph is kosher b'yachid. So what resembles 2 on the bottom, which is going to be in the left corner, certainly should be what? Good. Aninas in a kohen gadol is kosher b'yachid. So what about for the tzibur? Aninas b'kohen hedyot for the tzibur certainly should be okay. If tumah, number 2, tumah b'kohen hedyot was hutra b'tzibur, even though for a kohen gadol on top of him is possible. So when you have a situation where kohen gadol is kosher, So of course, betzibur for the yachid should be okay. Yeah? I said yachid? I mean a hedyot for the tzibur. Again, let's go to the right side. Tumah, let's get this one clear. It's very simple. Tumah by a kohen gadol is not good for a yachid, no good. Yet if the kohen hedyot performs it for the tzibur, for the community, it is good. So now let's go to aninos. That's in tumah. Aninos. Even a kohen gadol cannot do. Even a kohen gadol who's an oinen could do the avodah for a yachid. What about? Let's think logically. What about a simple kohen? Could he perform the avodah for a community? The answer is, if we look at tumah, a simple kohen can perform the avodah b'tzibur, hudra b'tzibur tumah, even though the kohen gadol cannot. So now here in Aninus that kohen gadol could. So what about the tzibur for the individual, simple kohen? Certainly you should be able to. Is that good? Is that yeah? Okay. Let's see inside. Oinen apostle, Omerava. Leishanu el bekarbon yachid. When is a oinen a kohen apostle? When he's an individual. Aval bekarbon tzibur miratza. But if it's for the community, then it should be okay. We're talking about aninos over here on the left side. Aninos. I'll learn it from Tuma. Ma Tuma shalei hudra meklala. It's a kohen gadol bekarbon yachid. A kohen gadol cannot perform the avodah for an individual when he's tamei. Nevertheless, hudra etzel hedyot bekarbon tzibur on the bottom right. You see that a hedyot, a simple kohen, could perform the avodah when he's tamei, but for the community. Aninos, so certainly when it's mutter for a kohen gadol to perform the avodah for individual, so certainly the regular kohen can perform the avodah if it's for the community. If by tumah he can perform for the community, so certainly for aninos. Because you see that even though a kohen gadol in tumah is no good, individual for tzibur is good. Tzibur by tumah, very good. But it's not. It's a good. Logic. Okay. If you thought about it for 10 seconds, you wouldn't ask the question. It's simple logic. Let's think together. I'm going to help you think here. The community is such a powerful thing that even an individual, not a kohen gadol, an individual can perform the avodah b'tumah. Why? Because it's a community. And a kohen gadol is zero. We don't look at him here. Look at him. He's puzzled by a yachid when he's tamei. So baninos, where a kohen gadol has the ability to go. So what about the tzibur? The community is so powerful. Of course, it should be okay by a yachid. The problem is, Rabbi Isai, whoever didn't understand it you're not concentrating on the individual boxes. Each box is very simple, but you're getting confused with red, blue, green. If a kohen gadol, the greatest human being on earth, cannot perform an avodah when he's tamei, but a simple kohen could perform with the same tumah in his body for the community. So certainly, when it comes to aninos, the simple kohen should be able to perform the avodah for the community, because the kohen gadol can perform the avodah for the community when he's aynan. For the yachid.
The assumption is that if he can perform for a yachid, he can also perform for a rabbin.
If the kohen gadol can perform for the yachid, so certainly the yachid should be able to perform for the rabbin, based on tumah. Well, at the end of the day, you're right. It's not going to work. This kal v'chomer. Nothing works, because if you take this kal v'chomer and use this logic, we're going to come out to all sorts of things that don't even make sense. They contradict each other. We're going to contradict each other right now. Now let's do this one, Rabbi Isai. We didn't establish, we assume that the kohen gadol, when he's a aynain, when he just lost a relative, we assume that he's a mutter to do the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash for anybody, whether it's a community or individual. Why? Because the Torah doesn't say who he can perform the avodah for. The Torah doesn't say, don't leave the Beis Hamikdash for the community. The Torah says, don't leave the Beis Hamikdash. I take it from that for anybody, even a yachid. Says Rabbi Bar Ilai, your logic, your Kavachomer will come to the opposite conclusion. Why? Check this out. If Tuma by a Yachid is mutter b'tzibur, yet by a Kohen Gadol it's possible b'Yachid, that we established. So certainly when it comes to Aninos, if you match one and Beis, we have a Kohen Yachid mutter. Over here we have Einen Aser, Lo Yidre B'tzibur. So we're going to have certainly a Kohen Gadol should be puzzled by a Yachid, which is against what we started out with. But it's logical now. If 1 plus 2 and Beis, then we have to come out with this conclusion, Aleph. Again, if Tuma by a Hedyoit is mutter, yet Tuma by Kohen Gadol is possible Yachid, Hudra b'tzibur, Tuma by a Hedyoit could do tzibur, but a Kohen Gadol cannot do a Yachid. So when it comes to Aninos and a Kohen Hedyoit doesn't have the ability to perform for the community, so certainly the Kohen Gadol, when it comes to a Yachid, what's the halacha? Should not be able to. And we thought that he could. That's question number 1. Let's do another question here about Peh. We understood that a Kohen Gadol who's Tameh cannot perform the Avodah for an individual. That's what we understood. We took it for granted. The only time you're permitted to do Avodah is when you have a community, not for an individual. I don't care who you are. You could be the greatest person in Klal Yisrael. You could be the Kohen Gadol. It's not permitted. But based on your logic, Rava, of your three things in the Kavachomer, number 4 is going to end up that he's actually mutter. Why? I don't know if you notice, but some of these boxes are changing from lo yuter to hutter to this to kosher puzzle because we don't have anything established. It doesn't say in the Torah anything. So I could make stuff up and come out with a conclusion, is what Rabbi Bar Ilai is really saying. So basically, Aninos in Kohen Hedyoid is not mutter b'tzibur, that we established. Yet Aninos b'Kohen Gadol is mutter even by a Yachid. So if Tuma by a Kohen Hedyoid is hutter b'tzibur, that we established. So what's the logical 4th step? By Kohen Gadol, we're looking for Kohen Gadol. By a Yachid, should be like Aleph. Should be kosher. Tumah by Kohen Gadol should be kosher. And we, all this time, we thought that Tumah by Kohen Gadol should be possible. And finally, the 4th one is, we thought that Tumah Hutra B'tzibur means for any Kohen, not only a Kohen Gadol. And now I'm going to come out with logic that for Kohen Hediyot, Lo Hutra Tumah B'tzibur. Why? And this is the reverse of what we just said a second ago. Aninos in Kohen Gadol is always kosher. He's a Einan. He doesn't say in the Torah what, when. A Kohen Gadol, when he's Einan, he's kosher for an individual. Yet, if it's a Kohen Hediyot, it's never mutter, even for the community. Tumah b'Kohen Gadol, when he's a Tameh, he's puzzled by a Yachid. So what's going to come out now? Kohen Hediyot. Now I'm looking for a Kohen Hediyot. B'tzibur should be Asur, and we know that Tumah Hudra B'tzibur even for Kohen Hediyot. So basically what Rabbi Eloi is doing is, Rabbi Eloi is saying, listen Rava, I get your original Kavachomer is very logical, but I'm going to take your exact logic and use it against everything that we know, and therefore it's impossible. Your whole Kavachomer doesn't exist. And then what? We're going to go back to these 4 things that we know. We're going to go by the pashas of what the Torah tells us, and we're not going to use any Kavachomers. So let's see inside. By the way, by the end of this Amud, that's where it ends. Then there's a whole brand new easy sugya. Says the Gemara, Maskiv lo Rabbi Bar Ilai. So Rabbi Bar Ilai says, let me use your 3 boxes. And lo tutar arinos, it's a Kohen Gadol b'karbon yachid. There, based on what you're telling me, then when a Kohen Gadol is a Einain, he shouldn't be able to perform the Avodah by a Yachid. And we know, and we thought, I don't know if we know, but we assumed that a Kohen Gadol, when the Torah says he's mutter to perform the avodah when he's einen, is in every single case. But according to this Kavachaymer, it'll come out that it's also for him to perform the avodah when he's einen for an individual. We know that Tumah is mutter, Tumah hurj b'tzibur, meaning anybody can perform it. You don't need a Kohen Gadol. Umat Tumah shudra, it's a Kohen hedya b'tzibur for the community. What? Yeah, for the korban tzibur. For the community, a Kohen hedya is mutter. Yet, loy hudra, it's a Kohen Gadol b'korban yachid. When a Kohen Gadol is tamei, he's not permitted to do the avodah for the individual. Aninos. Now we take it to the aninos. Aninos, which if you compare 1 and Beis on top, Beis is more chomer than 1. The tzibur doesn't help you when it comes to aninos. So certainly, it should be terrible for the Kohen Gadol in that situation. Lehudre is the Kohen Gadol b'korban yachid. Aninos lehudre is the Kohen hedya b'korban tzibur. Top left. When a regular kohen is a einen, he cannot perform the avodah for the tzibur. And eventually do that as a kohen gadol b'korban yachid. Certainly the kohen gadol should not be able to perform the avodah when he's a einen for the individual. But we thought that a einen kohen gadol can perform everything. Next one. And tutatuma b'kohen gadol b'korban yachid. The what? That's also against everything we knew. We thought that a Kohen Gadol who's tamei cannot perform for individual. According to this logic, he should be able to do that. What? When a Kohen Hedi, a simple Kohen, is a Einain, we don't allow him to perform the avodah, even for the community. Yet, when a Kohen Gadol is a Einain, he's permitted to do every type of carbon, even for an individual. Tumah Kohen Hediyad b'korban tzibur. So when it comes to Tumah, which the individual Kohen is permitted, a simple Kohen is permitted to perform the avodah when he's tamei for the community, and then Kohen Gadol b'korban yachid. So certainly, Aleph and 2 should line up because of 1. Okay, whoever listened to that didn't make any sense, but okay. Yeah, the conclusion, the bottom left corner makes a lot of sense now. Look at the bottom right corner. When a Kohen Gadol is a Einain, it's kosher b'yachid. So since Tumah b'Kohen Hediyad is Huda b'tzibur, Tumah b'Kohen Gadol should definitely be okay b'yachid. And finally, last one, we're saying that we thought that anybody can perform the avodah when it comes to Tumah b'tzibur. When you have the community needs a carbon. Even a Kohen Hediyad. It'll come out that a Kohen Hediyad cannot perform the avodah. Why? It's a Kohen Hediyad b'korban tzibur mekavachaymer uma'aninos. Shudre is a Kohen Gadol b'korban yachid. When a Kohen Gadol is a Einain, he could perform the avodah. That's the pashtas. Lehudre is a Kohen Hediyad b'korban tzibur. Yet, when a Kohen Hediyad is a Einain, he cannot perform the avodah, even for the community. So Tumah Shlei Hudra, it's a Kohen Gadol b'korban yachid. Then a Kohen Gadol cannot perform individual carbon for an individual when he's tamei, and it didn't Shlei Tuda b'Kohen Hedi b'korban tzibur. So certainly a Kohen Hedi should not be able to bring a carbon for the tzibur when he's tamei, even though we thought he could. And then we have this funny siman all the way at the end of the sugya, meaning funny that it's at the end of the sugya. The second time we have this here in the Masechta. Usually it's in the beginning. So 2 more lines here in Daf Amud Aleph. In other words, if you take a quick look here, you see this, look at this screen for a second. I'm just trying to see. Anina's b'kohen hediyot. Anina's going Tumah b'kohen hediyot. Oh, look over here. What does it say? Tumah b'kohen hediyot. Leidr b'tzibur. I'm just saying. And what does it say over here? Tumah b'kohen hediyot. Leidr b'tzibur. In other words, every Kal V'Chomer here is going to come out to a different conclusion. So the Gemara says, The logic is great, but we come out to different conclusions. And Mamela, if we come out to a different conclusion, you can't use the logic. So Mamela, kol chada v'chada teiku b'duchte. Over here, obviously, teiku doesn't mean teiku. And what do we have? We have these basic things that a kohen gadol who's a einin could do all the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. That's the pashtus. The Torah says he doesn't have to leave the Beis Hamikdash, so it doesn't matter if it's for the community or individual. And when the Torah says that a simple kohen cannot perform avodah Beis Hamikdash, it means all types of avodah, even for the community. And when we say tumah hotra b'tzibur, it means all kohanim can perform the avodah for the tzibur. It doesn't have to be a kohen gadol. And when we say that for individual, you cannot perform the avodah b'tumah, it means even if you're a kohen gadol, you can't perform. These are the simple, basic logic, and that's what we're going to remain with. Shalom Yisrael. That's the end of the sugya. Now, easy stuff. Tful yoim minol. How do you know that a person who was tamei and went to the mikvah? I have to show you this because this is.
How do we normally know what kavachim to use? In general, like in a normal situation.
No, because usually it's 1 against 1. If this is heavy and this is light, so certainly it's 1 plus 1 equals 2. Over here it's 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3, therefore equals 4. No, because if you're using 3 parameters, 3 things in your kavachomer, you can mix them up in 4 different ways, and you come out with the 4th conclusion every single time. Kavachomer is logic. No.
It says that we don't know which.
No. I'm trying to explain to him why this is different. A regular kavachomer is if you have one thing and another thing, and this thing is stronger and better than this, so certainly then the conclusion is number 3. 1 plus 1 equals 3. Over here it's 1 plus 1 plus 1. It's 3 parameters. You try to equals 4. But once you have 3 parameters, you can mix them all up in different ways, and you come out. Number 4 is always different. Now,
Gemara tries to answer with a tzad shava, right? When you have more than one parameter.
That's in something else. That's in a memetzinu or something else. We're talking kavachomer. That's logic. We're not talking about psukim. We're not saying tamei is like this and tful is like that, and therefore we have a.
It usually works when you're comparing one parameter.
I don't think we do a tzad shava shebehem on the kavachomers. I never heard that. No. I never heard it. Maybe you did. Real quickly, I want to read this because when I read this, I cried a shtickle because obviously it's private to me. This is from Yisrael Goldstein. I put the blue thing on his piece of paper over here. I blow the shofar every year in our shul for a few hundred women at the break. This year, on the 2nd day, right as I was about to make the brachas, I opened the front of my machzor to have in mind the few people I wrote down. And as I said your name, I broke down in tears and I had a hard time saying the brachas. I truly feel it's going to be a year full of Arbotzes Torah and Archavas Hadas and a bunch of geld. Amen. By the way, Eli Dykman is my Bal Makra. Now, the reason why I'm showing this is because I was the top of his list. He had a bunch of people in there, so I mamish appreciated it. It meant a lot. It even has his phone number. I forgot to raise his phone number here. But I guess he wants people to know he is a photographer. His number's out there. But it means a lot, and I was very emotional. A lot of people told me they down for me. Yishkoyach. They thought maybe this year was a little bit schwacher than the year before. It was, but Bezer Hashem Sevetzayin good. So you could have. It's an easy name. Elio Beirut. Yishkoyach Gadol Moed. I really appreciate it. Hakar Satov to everybody. This is updated one, so I'm going to show it to you again. Tul Yom. It's a little updated, but this morning, fresh off the press, Mark Ashkenazi told me this morning a Maisa Shahaya. Rosh Hashanah, he's in shul, davening, and he gets a Hatzalah call. So he leaves to get in the ambulance to get to the woman's house. They walk in there. She says, he's very lethargic, very lethargic. Bring him in. Maisa Shaya, I'm not making this up. You could ask Mark. He doesn't make stories up. He gets in there. It's a mouse. The mouse is very lethargic. On Rosh Hashanah, b'mechalel Rosh Hashanah, for a lethargic mouse. But meanwhile, she was playing the tefillah on Zoom. She's one of those. So, okay, he was mechalel Rosh Hashanah for a lethargic mouse, and if mamash fits into this, we could lower it a little bit. There's a few additions.
Responding to the call on Elm Street, ETA 2 minutes.
Well, he just turned into a mace. And he becomes a red thing. He's still red. And then also Mark told me this ambulance is a real one from Muncie. Over here goes under. See, now it became purple. Once he went to the mikveh, it becomes purple, it becomes a tful yoim. How do you have shares b'yodai?
In the ambulance.
No, the mouse is not in the ambulance. They let him there. They put the cover, then they would go right there. He's gone. So says the Gemara. How do I know that if a kohen is in the purple state, in other words, he got rid of the tumah, he went to the mikvah, but it's not completely rid of? How do you know that if he performs the avodah, it's possible? How do I see a hint to this in the Torah? You should be holy and you shouldn't be mechal. It's a remez in the Torah. I just want to pause it for a second. The famous Ma'aser from Noach Weinberg. If you know the lashon, a guy came to him. One of his talmidim said, "Rebbe, I'm here in Eretz Yisrael and I don't feel the kedusha. You talk about the kedusha, I don't feel the kedusha." So he said, "But do you feel the what's a bala?" He says, "What's that?" He says, "You don't know what what's a bala is?" He says, "No." So you don't know what kedusha is either. Like, what does kedusha mean? You know what kedusha means? I don't know. He made up a word. What was the word that he used? You heard the Ma'aser? Never heard it. Okay, people are kedusha. You know what kedusha is? When you know what kedusha is, let me know.
What did Mark do?
He said that the goy driver wanted to make a hatzalah call on this woman, that it should be necessary for someone to call hatzalah on her. The goy driver. Nothing. What do you do? He left. He didn't do CPR on the mouse. He left. On Rosh Hashanah, thank you for rooting me, davening. I'll see you later. He has a ma'aser now to say over.
A ma'aser, yeah.
He has a ma'aser. Talmud Loimar. So we have a pasuk that says Gedoshim Yiyu v'lo yichal. They shouldn't do the avodah. They shouldn't ruin the avodah. We already know about Tomei. So we have once again this kind of drasha here in this Masechta. I have a drasha that says, do not go in there and perform the avodah. I already know a real Tomei guy. So this is for somebody that's half Tomei. Let's call him half. He went into the mikvah, he's just waiting for the sun to go down for him to be fully tar. Says Gemara, but maybe who told you that's for Tfil Yom? It doesn't say Tfil Yom. Right there, the pasuk right before talks about that at a funeral, out of pain, a person shouldn't pull his hair out. And he shouldn't, a person shouldn't shave his beard with a razor. So maybe these are the type of people that shouldn't perform the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. Says Gemara, no. Tfil Yom, dem avad b'misa menolan. How do I even know that a Tfil Yom gets Misa B'dei Shomayim if he performs the avodah? The Gamar Chilu Metruma I learned from Truma. Now, it will be very simple. The logic is the pasuk b'Truma Machal Avodah. Somebody who cannot eat Truma, he can ruin the avodah of the Beis Hamikdash. Who can't eat Truma? A Tfil Yom. He's not completely tar. But somebody who shaves with a razor, there's nowhere in the Torah that says he can't eat Truma. So he doesn't have the right to ruin the avodah. Omer Rabba, why in the world does the Torah have to say three things that are very similar? Tamei, we know what a tamei is. Somebody who's tamei. Utvul yoim is somebody who's tamei who went into the mikvah. Here, like this guy is a mechusar kippurim. What's a mechusar kippurim? Mechusar kippurim is, let's say, a zav, typical zav mitzayra. He has another step. He has to bring a carbon the following day. So he goes to the mikvah. Now he's like a tvul yoim. Then comes nighttime. He's still mechusar kippurim. He's missing the kapara of the carbon.
Stop.
Mechusar kippurim is a knisat sheyavi karbonoisa. Okay, can't go in until you bring your carbon. So why do I need all three? Says the Gemara, tzrichidi kazav rachmana tamei shekem etama. I can't learn anything from tamei. Tamei is his own category. It's very severe. He has the power to make somebody else tamei. Make something else tamei. Now, if the Torah would just say Tvul Yom, B'Tvul Yom, no, I wouldn't learn other things from it. Mechusar Kippurim, I wouldn't be able to learn somebody who has to bring a carbon still, Shekain, Pasul Truma. Why? Because a Tvul Yom is still Pasul and Truma. Mechusar Kippurim is not Pasul with Truma. After Shkia, let's think about it. A Tvul Yom is before Shkia. Tvul Yom, he went to the mikveh, he cannot eat Truma yet. Why? Because it's not nighttime, it's not Shkia yet. But a guy who has to bring a carbon, a Zav, who went to the mikveh and it's already after Shkia, but he just didn't bring his carbon, he could eat Truma. So Tvul Yom is different than a Mechusar Kippurim. So I can't learn one from the other. But Mechusar Kippurim, if the Torah would just say Mechusar Kippurim, Tvul Yom li aseh minei shkem Mechusar Ma'isa. If the Torah would just talk about a Mechusar Kippurim that can't do the Avodah Beis Hamikdash, I wouldn't be able to learn Tvul Yom. Why? Because a Mechusar Kippurim is more severe. He has to bring a carbon. He has to take action, physical action. He has to bring a carbon to Beis Hamikdash. A Tvul Yom doesn't have to do anything. He just has to sit and wait. He has to wait for whether he likes it or not. It's going to be nighttime soon, whether he does something or not. So without any action, he's going to become tar. You can't learn it from Mechusar Kippurim. By the way, I just realized Peres Chaim Levin wrote to me today. He sent me a letter, a picture. I'm also on the top of his tefillas. I'm not asking to be on the top. Just throw me in there somewhere on the bottom also. Oh, I do have to say, Rabbi Isai, again, I want to ask mechila from every single person. I know I insulted a lot of people and I hurt a lot of people and I didn't do enough for people. So I'm asking mechila for all those, especially those that insulted Barabim. Michael? I'm serious. Michael? This is danger zone. I just put up a thing in my. You come here. I'll das there, but Alpha Beacon. It's all the whole thing. Okay. I'm asking Bemis, asking Mechila from everybody. There's people that don't even talk to me anymore. Asking Mechila. Zog the Gemara. And none of them should be Michael, especially me, but also your friends too. Shkaya. I didn't ask you for Mechila. I didn't have to. Thank you. You yes. Thank you. Ashi, Michael?
Of course. Machla.
Thank you.
Especially if you show up for the new Sunday for my son.
I'm turning colors here. Wow, Ashi, you got me good. Did you just invite me to be the Sandig at your son's bris?
Yes.
You have nobody else?
Yes.
I'll be honored. When is it?
Monday.
On Yontif? Erev Yontif. What time? You want to do the bris here during Shir so I don't have to go anywhere?
We have the place set up. We have to get the bow, and right now I just invited the son.
I'm very good at Mila. I've never tried it, but it looks easy. Can I try it on your son? All right, very good. Zok Gemara. Wow, what a day, unbelievable. Wait a minute, Ashi.
Yes.
Ask Dave Sharfman if it worked out for him. How was it sounding for his son? Was it okay? Did the kid come out okay? What do you say? You're not so sure. Huh? We'll know in a few years. He can't wait that long.
I hope you welcome me.
Now Michael for everything. Do whatever you want. Givaldi. Zog the Gemara. Thank you. Mechad Eliyasi. Taste Chadim entirety. Rabbi Isai. We're doing this all over again. So what do we have here? We have a guy who's tamei. We have a Tvul Yom who went to the mikveh after he's tamei. We have a Mechusar Kippurim. He has to bring the two birds. So Gemara says we have three. Why do you need three psukim in the Torah to tell us that these three people cannot perform the Avodah Beis Hamikdash? So which one do you want the Torah to say? Let's start with Mechusar Kippurim. Torah won't say Mechusar Kippurim. I'm going to learn from the tamei and Tvul Yom. The what? Tamei and Tvul Yom, they pass the Avodah. So what's the next step now? They have something special. The psulim betruma. Okay, let's see inside. Sorry. Oh, Learn 1 from 2. Which one don't you want it to say? The Torah shouldn't say Mechuzak Kippurim. You should learn 1 from 2. The Tameh and the Tvul Yom cannot eat Truma, whereas we said the Mechuzak Kippurim could eat Truma. So since they're more severe, you can't learn something out from them. Let's switch it. The Torah shouldn't say Tvul Yom, and we should learn from Tameh and Mechuzak Kippurim. So we're going to say Tameh has to go to the mikvah, and Mechuzak Kippurim has to bring a carbon. They're missing some action. A Tvul Yom doesn't have to do anything; just has to wait until the sun goes down. So he says the Gemara Klisha La Tumasan, which maybe on the side it says Tuma, Tumasai. Very good. That because we're only talking about one out of the two. The Mechuzak Kippurim is very, very weak Tuma. If we think about it logically, the guy is 100% Tameh. He goes into the mikvah. He removed how much? 70%, let's say. Remove 70%. Then somebody has to get that fly. It's the size of a bird. And he likes to land on people. So 70% is gone. Now the shkia happened. How much came off from the 30%? Another 20%. He's left with 10% tumah. I'm just throwing out numbers here, but you get my thing here. A Tvul Yom, let's say, he's 70% off, but he has 30% tumah left. Over here, 70% went off from going to the mikvah, 20% because the sun went down. So he's left with 10%. Bring the car. It's very, very weak. Says Gemara, no. There's another way to look at it. Daf Yomi Amud Beis. Sponsor. I want to finish early because it's Erev Yom Kippur. Not going to happen, huh? Adar Global Specialist International Financial Services. Anonymous. In the schus v'atzlach and ruchnis and gashmis. Anonymous. In the schus in support of Torah that all tests should come back 100% healthy for me and my family. Says the Gemara, no. The way I could look at it, something very different. If you go into the mikvah, it's not true that it peeled off 70% of your tumah. You know how much came off? 0. It's one of the 3 steps I need to take. I need to go into the mikvah. I need to wait for the sun to go down, and then after I bring my korbanos, 100% of my 100% tumah goes off. I still am 100% tameh. There's no such thing as half. There's no such thing. Either I'm 100% tameh or I'm 100% tar. There's no such thing as 70% tar. Because what? Okay, but the Gemara is looking at something else. That's
the point.
1 minute. I don't know if you're right. Kosovar. Mechusar Kippur is a chidush here. Kosovar. Everybody holds that kachim is aser. But Kosovar Mechusar Kippurim the zav kizav dami. Real quickly, just so we reiterate this. Ziva is something that comes out of the body from a disease. And if it comes out once, then he's like a Balkari. One night, one day, and he goes to the mikvah. But if he has 2 emissions, then he's tummy for 7 days. And if he has 3 emissions, it's the same thing, just he has to bring a carbon on the 8th day. Then he's a real zav. The Gemara understands here that a zav who finally goes to the mikvah and he has Erev Shemesh, he's a serious zav. He's 100% a zav. It didn't become weaker. Like the Gemara said, the last words on Amud Aleph, that it became kalush. No, nothing. He's a complete zav as if he never went to the mikveh even. And Memela cannot learn a Tvul Yom from that zav. Says the Gemara, Umechuzak Kippurim the zav kizav dami tanoi, and it's actually a machlokes tanoim whether or not a zav that went to the mikveh and had Erev Shemesh, whether he's 100% zav or we view him as a 10% zav. The Sanya. Sarfa Ein and Mechuzak Kippurim, we're referring to the paraduma. Here we go. You take this little paraduma, it's completely red without 2 hairs that are different color. And you burn it on a pile of wood, and that wood becomes ashes together with the ashes of the paraduma, and then we sprinkle those ashes, we mix it with water from a mayon, and that's how we make people tar when they go to the levaya and they touch the dead. That's supposed to last for hundreds of years. What if somebody whose oinen burns it? He might have ruined the $20 million cow. Or Mechuzak Kippurim, he's a zav, he went to the mikvah, he had shkia, but he didn't bring his carbon yet. Or early in the morning, he runs to the Beis Hamikdash, he sees the paraduma. Right before he brings his karbanos, he burns the paraduma. Sheira, says the Gemara. Now, the problem is, we have a manom that says, apostle. Yosef Ababli Omer, Oining Sheira. Yeah. If he lost his father, that's fine. It's not a real avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. This is like Bedek Habayis stuff. It's a paraduma. It's different. But Mechuzak Kippurim Oivavai. If he's a zav who didn't bring his karbanos yet, psula. So l'chayr, what's the machlokes? My lav, that Yosef of Babel is going to hold Mar Sova Mechusik Kippurim the Zav Kizav Dami. He didn't bring his carbon. He's 100% the Zav, and 100% the Zav cannot burn the paraduma. Well, Mar Savar, and the other one holds Lav Kizav Dami. He's not a real Zav. He's 90% tar. He already went through 2 out of the 3 processes. Okay, 66% tar, whatever it is, but he's not a real Zav. Rabbi say, in case you skipped all the emails and all the geschmack stuff before shir, think about becoming a partner with MDY and giving monthly. And if you thought about giving $50, think about $150. Go out of your comfort zone. You know that you have to give Meiser, and maybe you're a little shvach with the Meiser. Here's one of the best ROIs, return on investment, Shaykh. You're going to get another guy. We're actually working on the agreement, brother, to get to the shir. Be'ez Hashem, with all the money that we have, we're going to get him to come to the shir. No, you couldn't get him? Oh, that's right. He's not even part of the shir, and I'm insulting him. Be'ez Hashem, he learns whatever. But Rabbi says, seriously, we're going to get more people to learn Torah, more people to change their lives. Money goes to unbelievable. The top guys in MDY, the biggest producers in MDY, including Benny Rudnick, Avi Kamiansky, Mark Ashkenazi, Yossi Klein, Eli Stefansky, we don't take a dime from MDY. The money goes to salaries that people work really hard. They're probably underpaid at this point. But it's going to a lot of organizations. You give, the top guys are getting $400,000, $500,000. I'm not going to name the names. You know what I'm talking about. This organization, no, but we don't take salaries. The guys that work hard, the editors and this and that, they deserve a salary. So think about it. Be a partner for an unbelievable thing. Monthly.com, whatever it is. MDYmonthly.com. What?
It's on the coast for everybody who joins.
Or if you give some the cause, you don't have to be a partner. But one or the other. Zog Gemara. Where are we? Loi. I love it. I have no idea where we are. Loi. So we wanted to say that we have a machlekes here, whether Zav is a complete Zav 100% or only 60%. Loi the Kula Alma Zav. You could say that everybody agrees that he's 100% the Zav. We're just going to finish the sugya and that will be it for today. So what is the machlokes b'hakam ifligi? The chsiv v'hiza hatar. The Torah already says, if we look over here, it says in the pasuk right before it says ishtar. He's tar. So then why does the Torah say in pasuk Yutes v'hiza hatar? V'hiza. This man who is an ishtar, he went and he sprinkled on the mace. Why does it say v'hiza hatar? So the Gemara says v'hiza hatar means he's not really tar. He's only 60% tar. He only went to the mikveh and he's a full yaim. That went to the mikvah. He's a little bit tummy, a little bit tar. He's tar and not tar. Limit out tful yom. So first we're going to step by step. The Torah is talking about a tful yom shekasher b'para. This tful yom who went to the mikvah, he's still waiting for the nightfall. If he burnt the paraduma, it's kosher. So now the question is, what does it have to do with the mechusar kippurim? The Torah talks about a tful yom. This includes even a mechusar kippurim, even a zav. No. Relax. It's only talking about a tful yom with a mace. Hilkach, the Bach takes out the word oinen because it doesn't really fit in here. Hilkach oinen utful yom d'tmei sheretz. If a person touched the sheretz, he's only tummy for 1 day. The kile, it's very, very light tumah. It's only 1 day tumah. So if a guy touches a dead person and goes to the mikvah, which is more severe, I learned from that if he does the avodah of the paraduma, it's okay. Aval b'chusar kippurim the zav. The other man says no. The zav is a severe tumah. The chamer. Why is it a severe tumah? Shkein tumah yotza olav migufay. It originates. Where does the tumah come from? It originates from his own body. That's how severe it is. It's like a dead person. He's like avat tumah. He created the tumah. Loi. Doesn't work. Rabbi Sai. Have a wonderful day. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should listen to our tefillos, be mekabel our tshuva. A wonderful year. Motzei Yontiv Rabbi Sai regular time at 9:30. Hebrew Shir at 10:40. Shkoyach.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.